Welcome to Stoic Reflection, where timeless grit meets real confidence. Ever been stuck in a convo that just flops, wondering why some guys effortlessly captivate women while others fade fast? It's not about pickup lines or fake charm. It's about calm, unshakable strength that hooks her deep. In this video, we're unpacking 10 stoic ways high-value men talk to women and stay on their mind. No BS, just pure presence and purpose. Ready to ditch the desperation and become that guy. Buckle up, let's roll. All right, buckle up, because we're diving deep into the art of talking to women like a freaking pro. We're not talking cheesy pickup lines or fake swagger. We're talking about becoming the kind of guy women are naturally drawn to. The kind who's got his stuff together, knows who he is, and makes her feel like she's the only person in the room. This ain't no magic trick. It's about leveling yourself up. Forget being just another dude. It's time to become the guy who leaves a lasting impression. Ever been there? You're chatting with a woman, trying to keep things interesting, but the convo just dies. It's like a balloon losing air, leaving you wondering what the heck went wrong. Super frustrating, right? Most guys struggle with this. It's not that they don't care. It's just they're missing something crucial. High-value dudes don't need corny lines or flashy moves. They've got something else entirely. Calm, grounded confidence. They're able to stay cool, handle the pressure, and actually connect on a deeper level. The secret sauce. It's Stoicism, but not in a boring textbook way. It's about becoming a man who stands out naturally, unshaken, confident, and totally present. So, ditch the desperation, and let's dive into how you can become that guy. 1. Chill out. The power of calm confidence. Let's be real. How many times have you felt your heart race or your palms sweat when talking to someone you're attracted to? One little comment or an awkward silence throws you completely off, and you either start rambling like a maniac or clamming up completely. Dude, you're not alone. It happens to almost everyone. The problem is you're letting your emotions run the show. A high-value man does the opposite. He keeps his cool no matter what. He doesn't need to impress anyone with a bunch of BS. He's got this inner calm. It's not about what he says, but how he says it. Imagine this. You're chatting, and she throws you a little test. Like, so you think you're all that, huh? Most guys would jump to explain themselves, trying way too hard to impress her. Instead, just smile, keep eye contact, and say, "Nah, not really. I'm just comfortable being myself." Simple, right? But in that one moment, you've shown her you're secure. You don't need her validation. Or maybe she asks, "Do I make you nervous?" Don't be a dummy and blurt out, "No," trying to sound tough. Look her in the eye and say, "No, because I'd rather just get to know the real you." See? You're not just answering a question. You're showing her you want a genuine connection. Staying calm isn't just about reacting slowly. It's about setting the pace of the conversation. When she throws you a curveball, breathe, hold your ground, and let her see you're steady. That little pause isn't weakness, it's strength. It shows her you're not some pushover who's easily flustered. Remember, confidence isn't about being loud or forceful. True confidence is knowing exactly who you are and not needing anyone's approval to feel that way. Slow down when you speak, look her in the eye, and let your words come naturally. Once you nail this calm confidence, you'll see a huge shift. Not just in how women respond, but in how you feel about yourself. It's the foundation for everything else. Here's a real-world example. I once saw a guy at a bar get spilled on by accident. Most dudes would have blown a gasket. This guy, he just laughed, said, No worries. Happens to the best of us. And kept the conversation going. That's calm confidence in action. My own thoughts. Building calm confidence is like building a muscle. It takes practice. Start by noticing when you feel anxious or flustered in conversations. Take a breath, remind yourself that you're okay, and choose to respond calmly. It gets easier over time. Plus, meditating or doing something to help with anxiety could definitely change the game. 2. Purposeful words. Less is more. One of the biggest mistakes guys make is filling every single silence with words. They think they have to keep the conversation going at all costs, like it's some kind of life or death situation. Truth is, high-value men don't talk just to fill space. They speak with intention. Each word has a purpose. When you speak with purpose, you're not rushing or rambling. You choose your words carefully, and you let natural pauses happen. Silence isn't something to be afraid of. When used right, it's powerful. A confident man knows silence does the work for him because it shows he's comfortable in his own skin and doesn't need constant validation. Let's break it down. You're talking to her, and there's a quiet moment. Instead of scrambling to say something, anything, let it breathe. Look her in the eye, smile calmly, and let her feel that you're completely at ease. That silence speaks volumes. It shows her you're not anxious or trying too hard, and that's magnetic. Another example, complimenting her. Avoid the generic "you're really pretty," which she's heard 1,000,000 times. Go deeper. Look her in the eye and say, "You have a really unique way of seeing things. I'd love to hear more about your perspective." Bam! You've opened the door to a real conversation. She'll feel like you're genuinely interested in her, not just her looks. And here's a key point. If she says something you disagree with, don't jump into an argument. Take a moment to process it, then respond thoughtfully. This shows you're a listener who speaks mindfully, rather than rushing to prove a point. Speaking with purpose is about valuing your words and knowing that less is often more. By keeping your words intentional, you project confidence without even trying. Real-world example. A friend of mine was on a date, and the woman mentioned she was a huge fan of a band he hated. Instead of arguing, he said, "Interesting. I've never really gotten into them. What do you like about them?" He listened, asked questions, and ended up understanding her taste a bit better. He spoke with purpose, even when disagreeing. My own thoughts. Learning to speak with purpose is about being present in the conversation. Pay attention to what she's saying. Think before you respond. And don't be afraid of silence. It's about quality over quantity. 3. Rejection. Proof. Emotional detachment. Rejection. The thing most guys dread when talking to women. But here's the truth. High-value men don't fear rejection. They're unfazed by it because they know their worth isn't defined by one interaction. Emotional detachment doesn't mean being cold. It means being secure enough not to take things personally. Let's be real. Not every woman you talk to will be interested, and that's okay. Imagine you're chatting, and she's not responding how you hoped. Maybe she's distracted, or her answers are short. Most guys would start feeling uneasy, maybe even questioning themselves. A high-value man, he keeps his cool knowing her reaction doesn't define his worth. Simple example. You ask her out, and she politely says no. Don't whine. Take it with a smile and respond confidently. "No problem. I appreciate your honesty. Have a great day." Just like that, you've shown her you're emotionally secure. You're not bitter. You're not chasing. You're simply moving on. That's powerful. Or maybe she's not rejecting you outright. but you're picking up signs she's not engaged. Don't take it personally. Don't let it shake your confidence. Shift your focus back to enjoying the conversation for what it is, without being attached to the outcome. This mindset shift communicates that you're a confident guy, regardless of someone else's reaction. Women are naturally drawn to men who are unaffected by rejection. It shows emotional resilience, which is rare and attractive. By detaching yourself from the outcome of one conversation, you're saying, I'm confident in who I am with or without your approval. You're essentially saying, I'm a catch, whether you see it or not. Real-world example. I have a buddy who's super successful with women. His secret: he told me he treats every interaction like a game. He enjoys the process, but he doesn't get hung up on the outcome. He's emotionally detached. My own thoughts. Emotional detachment is a skill. It's about recognizing that you can't control other people's feelings or reactions. You can only control your own. It's also about having a strong sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on external validation. If you get rejected, it's not the end of the world. Brush yourself off and keep going. 4. Keep cool, maintaining composure. Let's talk about something that really sets high-value men apart: their ability to keep their cool no matter what. In today's world, drama and high emotions seem to be everywhere. A man who stays composed when things get intense, that's rare. Women notice it immediately. Think about it. You're on a date, and the conversation takes an unexpected turn. Maybe she makes a playful jab at you or brings up a topic that could easily make you defensive. Most guys would react, get flustered, or try to explain themselves. But a high-value man, he stays calm. He knows that losing his cool only lowers his own value. For example, imagine she says, "Why are all men the same?" This could be her way of testing you, seeing if you'll get defensive or take the bait. Instead of reacting, just smile, lean back, and say calmly, "Maybe I'll surprise you." You're not feeding into the tension. You're letting her see that you're unshakable. Her words don't control your emotions. Or let's say she teases you about something trivial, maybe the way you dress or something you said earlier. Most men would feel the need to justify themselves. The high-value man, he just laughs it off. By not taking it seriously, you're showing her you're comfortable with who you are, imperfections and all. This level of composure is not only rare but incredibly attractive. Women are constantly picking up on cues about how you handle pressure and conflict. If you stay steady and keep a sense of humor, it shows her you're mature, confident, and in control. She's more likely to feel safe around you, knowing you won't react impulsively. Real-world example. A friend of mine was at a restaurant when a waiter spilled a drink on his date. Instead of getting angry or making a scene, he calmly asked for some napkins and reassured her. He maintained his composure, and it impressed her. My own thoughts. Maintaining composure isn't about ignoring what she says or acting detached. It means you're grounded, that you won't let emotions sway you easily. This stability is what separates high-value men from the rest. Next time you feel yourself getting defensive, take a deep breath and pause. Don't rush to respond. That moment of calm will give you control over the situation. You're letting her see that you're composed, confident, and able to handle whatever comes your way. 5. The power of listening. Active listening. One of the most underrated qualities in a man is his ability to truly listen. In a world where everyone wants to talk and be heard, the man who gives his full attention stands out. Active listening isn't just nodding along. It's being fully present and engaged in the conversation. Women notice it immediately. Imagine you're talking to her, and instead of waiting for your turn to speak, you're tuned into what she's saying. You're not looking around the room, checking your phone, or planning your next line. You're focused on her, and she feels that. This level of attention is rare and powerful. Let's say she's sharing something personal. Most guys might offer a quick, generic response like, "Oh, that's interesting." A high-value man goes deeper. He might say something like, "I can see why that's important to you. Tell me more about how that affected you." You're not only showing her you're listening, you're encouraging her to open up. Another tip: pay attention to the details she mentions. If she talks about a goal she has or a memory from her childhood, remember it. Bring it up later in the conversation or even on a future date. Imagine the impression you'll make when you say, "You mentioned before that you love photography. How's that going?" It shows her you cared enough to remember, something most people don't do. And here's something important: avoid interrupting. Even if you're excited to respond, give her space to fully express herself. The man who can listen without interrupting, who can maintain eye contact and respond thoughtfully, becomes instantly memorable. Women are used to conversations where the other person is just waiting for their turn to talk. When you break that pattern, you stand out. Real-world example. I know a guy who's a master of active listening. He told me he always tries to find one thing he can genuinely connect with in every conversation. Even if he doesn't agree with everything the person says, he focuses on finding common ground. My own thoughts. Active listening isn't just a technique. It's about genuinely valuing the person in front of you. By making her feel like she's the only one in the room, you're showing her respect and appreciation. In return, she'll feel more connected to you because she knows you're interested in more than just surface-level conversation. Next time you're with her, practice giving her your undivided attention. Maintain eye contact. Resist the urge to check your phone, and let her see that you're genuinely interested. 6. Silent signals. Stoic body language. Did you know that most communication is nonverbal? Long before you say a word, your body language is already telling her a story. The way you stand, move, and hold eye contact speaks volumes. High-value men know how to project confidence through their body language, and it leaves a lasting impression. Let's start with posture. When you walk into a room, imagine you're grounded like a tree with deep roots. Stand tall with your shoulders relaxed, not slouched or tense. This shows you're confident and comfortable. Women notice a man who's grounded in his presence. It's a powerful silent message that says, "I'm secure in who I am." Eye contact is another major factor. When you're talking to her, maintain steady eye contact. Don't stare intensely, but don't look away too quickly either. Think of it as a natural connection. You're showing interest without trying too hard. When she's talking, listen with your eyes as well as your ears. This lets her know that she has your full attention. Then there's how you move. Fast, jittery movements signal nervousness or insecurity. Instead, adopt slow, deliberate movements. When you reach for your drink or shift in your seat, do it with purpose. This subtle change in pace communicates calmness and control. If you're at a bar, casually lean back as you talk. This unhurried posture signals that you're comfortable and in no rush. Real-world example. I once watched a guy walk into a room and completely command attention without saying a word. He stood tall, made eye contact with everyone, and moved with a calm, deliberate pace. His body language screamed confidence. My own thoughts. Body language might seem like a small thing, but it's incredibly influential. Hold yourself with poise, respect her space, and make deliberate, calm movements. Let your presence speak before you even say a word. Also, remember the power of a genuine, relaxed smile. When you smile, make sure it reaches your eyes. A stoic smile isn't forced. It's a subtle expression of confidence. 7. Keep it together. Mastering emotional control. Imagine this. You're in a conversation and something unexpected happens. Maybe she brings up a topic that hits a nerve, or someone else makes a comment that could easily push your buttons. Most men would react, get defensive or frustrated, and let their emotions lead the way. But a high-value man knows the power of emotional control. Emotional control doesn't mean ignoring how you feel. It means knowing when to respond and when to hold back. It's about staying calm, even when the situation gets tense, showing her that you're not easily rattled. Women respect a man who can handle his emotions without letting them spiral out of control. Let's say she challenges you with a tricky question, like, why do men always avoid serious topics? The natural reaction might be to defend yourself. Instead, take a moment, breathe, and respond with calm confidence. You could say, I don't know about all men, but I don't shy away from serious conversations. I think they're interesting. You're showing her you're not easily thrown off, that you can stay steady even when challenged. Another example, you're on a date, and someone bumps into you. Lots of guys would react with irritation, maybe even make a comment. By shrugging it off with a quick smile, you're showing her you're a man who doesn't sweat the small stuff. She'll notice your self-control, and it'll make you stand out. Real-world example. A friend of mine was on a date when the restaurant messed up their order. Instead of getting angry, he calmly explained the situation to the waiter. His date was impressed with his ability to handle the situation without getting upset. My own thoughts. The next time you feel that surge of emotion, pause and remind yourself that you're in control. Breathe slowly, relax your body, and decide how you want to respond rather than just reacting. Women are constantly picking up on how you handle pressure, big or small. By staying calm and collected, you communicate that you're not driven by impulse, that you have a level of maturity and strength. This sense of stability is not only attractive, but reassuring. 8. Dig deeper. Asking thoughtful questions. One of the most powerful ways to stand out in a conversation with a woman is to go beyond the usual surface-level small talk. High-value men know the importance of asking thoughtful, meaningful questions that go deeper than, "What do you do?" or "Where are you from?" By asking questions that truly matter, you show her that you're genuinely interested in who she is, not just the basics. Imagine you're sitting across from her, and instead of asking something predictable, you say, "What's something you're really passionate about right now?" Or, "Is there anything you've always wanted to do but haven't had the chance yet?" Questions like these make her think, and they invite her to open up about her dreams, interests, or personal goals. You're building a genuine connection. Or maybe she mentions something about her work. Instead of just saying, "Oh, that's cool," try following up with, "What's your favorite part about it?" Or, "What got you interested in that field?" By dividing a little deeper, you're showing her you're listening and that you care about what makes her tick. Real-world example. I was at a party and overheard a guy asking a woman about her favorite childhood memory. She lit up as she described her summers spent at her grandmother's house. He followed up with questions about her grandmother and the specific things she loved about those summers. It was clear he was genuinely interested in her experiences. My own thoughts. Here's the secret. When you ask thoughtful questions, you don't just learn more about her, you also create a space where she feels safe and valued. She'll appreciate that you're not rushing to talk about yourself or impress her. Instead, you're giving her room to express who she is, which is rare and refreshing. Thoughtful questions show her that you're a man of substance, someone who's not afraid to connect on a deeper level. And when she feels heard and understood, that's when a real connection starts to form. 9. Confidence, not cockiness. Confidence without ego. There's a huge difference between confidence and ego, and it's a line that high-value men know how to walk perfectly. True confidence doesn't need to boast or prove anything. It speaks for itself. A man who's genuinely confident knows his worth, but he doesn't need to shout it from the rooftops. Instead, he lets his actions and presence do the talking. Let's say you're talking to her, and the conversation turns to achievements. Maybe she asks what you do. Instead of diving into a list of your accomplishments or trying to impress her, keep it simple. You might say, "I work in your field and I really enjoy it. It's rewarding." Then shift the focus back to her with a question like, "How about you?" This way, you're not downplaying your accomplishments, but you're also not coming off as if you're looking for validation. Another scenario. She gives you a compliment, maybe on your style. Instead of brushing it off or trying to one-up her, just smile and say, "Thank you." You're showing her that you're comfortable receiving a compliment without letting it inflate your ego. This subtle confidence is powerful because it shows you appreciate the compliment, but don't need it to feel validated. Real-world example. I know a very successful entrepreneur who never talks about his accomplishments unless directly asked. When he does, he keeps it brief and humble. He lets his work speak for itself. My own thoughts. Let her see your genuine self and trust that it's enough. When you embody this calm, humble confidence, you become memorable, not for what you say about yourself, but for the energy you bring into every interaction. Confidence without ego is rare, but it's incredibly attractive. It shows her you're the kind of man who's secure in himself. 10. Leave him wanting more, ending with grace. How you end a conversation is just as important as how you start it. Too many men make the mistake of lingering, thinking that if they keep talking, they'll eventually say the perfect thing to win her over. But high-value men know when to leave, and they do it gracefully, leaving her intrigued and wanting more. Picture this. You've had a great conversation. There's been laughter, connection, and genuine interest. You could keep it going, but instead you decide to wrap it up on a high note. You smile and say, "It's been really great talking with you. Let's do this again sometime." You've kept it simple, confident, and left her with something to look forward to. By ending the conversation while things are still engaging, you're leaving her wanting more, not overextending the interaction. Or imagine you're in the middle of an interesting topic, and she's clearly enjoying herself. Most guys would keep pushing. A high-value man leaves before the conversation loses its energy. You could say something like, "I'd love to hear more about that, but I have to run. Maybe we can pick this up another time." You're showing her that you value her time, that you're confident enough not to cling to the moment, and that you're willing to leave something to be continued. Real-world example. I was at a party and saw a guy have a great conversation with a woman, then politely excuse himself to go talk to other people. He didn't linger. He didn't overstay his welcome. He left her wanting more. My own thoughts. Ending gracefully isn't about being abrupt. It's about reading the situation and sensing when it's time to exit naturally. This approach leaves her thinking about you, curious about what else there is to know and excited for the next conversation. Don't drag out goodbyes or try to impress her one last time. Instead, keep your exit simple and confident. Offer a genuine smile, Make eye contact and say, "Take care," or "Looking forward to seeing you again." Then walk away without looking back, bringing it all together. The high-value man mindset. So, there you have it. 10 ways to talk to women like a high-value man. These aren't just tips. They're about how you are. Forget the cheesy pickup artist stuff. This is about becoming someone who genuinely attracts the right kind of attention because of the way you carry yourself. Key takeaways. The high-value man's cheat sheet. Let's boil it down to the essentials. You want to be calm and confident. Don't let her rattle you. Be secure in yourself. Purposeful with your words. Less is more. Make every word count. Rejection-proof. Her opinion doesn't define you. Composed under pressure. Handle tricky situations with grace. A master listener. Truly hear what she has to say. Confidence in your body language. Stand tall. Make eye contact. Emotionally intelligent. Control your reactions. Don't be a drama king. Curious and engaging. Ask thoughtful questions that go deeper. Humble, not arrogant. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Graceful in your exit. Leave her wanting more. These aren't just techniques, they're mindsets and habits that you can build over time. Each principle is about becoming a man who stands out without needing to try. It's not about what you say, but how you carry yourself. Confidence, respect, and authenticity are the qualities that draw people in, and they're qualities that every man can develop. Women are naturally attracted to men who know their worth, who don't need validation, and who bring a grounded, steady energy to every conversation. These principles are rooted in Stoicism, not as a strategy, but as a lifestyle. Stoicism teaches us to stay grounded, control our emotions, and be resilient. When you apply these practices, you're not just learning how to talk to women. You're becoming a more confident, centered person overall. The journey to awesome, it starts now. As you take these lessons forward, remember that transformation doesn't happen overnight. Practice these principles in your daily life, not just in dating, and you'll start to see changes. You'll feel more comfortable in your skin, more present in your conversations, and more respected by everyone around you. If you're ready to level up and become the kind of man who naturally attracts attention and respect, start applying these principles today. And most importantly, remember to be yourself. All this stuff is about enhancing who you already are, not faking something that isn't real. Now go out there and start making a freaking lasting impression. Lasting impression. Lasting impression.